Okay. Yeah, we stop at number 9. For manifestation of its absolute function is called the stage of the forest wisdom. Mm, yeah, so for manifestation of its absolute function is of the mind, of the pure mind, is the forest wisdom. So the wisdom like the forest, right? And the two chapters is the mention that we want to learn the Buddhist teaching so that our wisdom would be as much as ocean, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Ananda, as these Bodhisattva complete their practice and training with great success, this is called the stage of successful practice. Yeah. It's logical. So they complete their practice successfully. So that's the successful practice. Um, but like recognize, right? When we do by ourselves, when we practice by ourselves, not easy, right? When we have the companionship, when we have uh, the friends that work on the path, they provide some kind of encouragement for us to follow, right? Otherwise, if we do by ourselves, sometimes we put a lot of effort to do the work, whether meditation, chanting, memorization. But sometimes if we are doing alone, sometimes we're lazy. We may probably have to. So that's why compassionate and also the Dharma prayer is so important. Um, yeah, last time I forgot to talk with you remember TJ, right? Remember from Lexington?
Yes.
Did he contact you? Did he still contact you?
He hasn't responded to my last two texts.
Mm. Yeah, I remember that probably sometime in January he called me to say hi about the New Year, yeah, New Year's celebration. But and I think probably last Friday we logged in to discussion and he just logged in briefly and he went away. So I didn't have time to invite him to come for our New Year celebration then. Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
he?
I on New Year's, I wished him Happy New Year's on like January 1st.
Yeah.
And then a few days ago, I think it was actually the day of the New Year's celebration at the temple. I shot him a brief sutra because he would before that he was sending me little bits of like Dharma he was reading. So I just texted him a link to
Mm.
a sutra, but surprisingly he didn't respond either time. So I'm thinking maybe he's just really busy with school.
Mm. Mm. So what do you think with our with I mean that going down to our temple each time whenever you attend the big celebration you feel that type of enforcement I mean that an encouragement for our communities here toward you.
Oh, yeah,
What do you think?
I think it is good. I mean, just being I think there's I enjoy it when I go and
Mm.
just having a connection with the community, and I think in some way it creates some accountability. It I think it's important. I mean, even the guys who would live out in the wilderness and sleep in the trees, like they would occasionally come and spend time with the sangha. So how much the more so, if it's a cool person like
Yeah.
yeah.
So what happened? Let's say if you don't have any connection with us, what do you think? Is yeah, of course you can practice by yourself for many years, right? Like you mentioned before, right? But it's beneficial to have this type of Dharma friends connection, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, please, number 10.
They now realize the state in which sheltering clouds of compassion cover the ocean of nirvana. This is called the stage of Dharma clouds, or the Dharma Mega. Ooh, I've never seen that term mega in Sanskrit before.
Hmm.
And we have that term in English, mega, like we use that all the time. I wonder if that's from Sanskrit. So they now realize the state in which sheltering clouds of compassion cover the ocean of nirvana. This is called the stage of Dharma clouds. Wow.
Hmm.
Sheltering clouds of compassion cover the ocean of nirvana. That's poetic.
Mhm.
Hmm. I don't know. I the meaning of it I think is beyond it. It makes me think of like the theory that scientists have about the early universe, that there were these clouds of hydrogen,
Hmm.
that because all matter has gravity, the hydrogen was attracted to other hydrogen molecules, and then they clumped together enough, they got dense enough that the gravity was strong enough to force two hydrogen molecules to fuse, and that fusion released energy and caused more to fuse, and so it lit up a star. And that everything that all living beings are made of was formed in those stars. Like, to me, even that kind of seems like a cloud of compassion, like built into the nature of the very simplest matter is the birth of all life. Like, just
Mhm.
just being left alone in empty space, the simplest atom create stars that create the materials for planets and for life. Um, so it seems to almost imply like there is this compassion built into matter itself. But
Mhm.
I mean that's just what this makes me think of. I don't think that that's the correct interpretation of what this means. But I'm wondering what
Mhm.
your understanding is.
Really the state in which sharing cloud compassion cover the ocean of nirvana here. Remember when we talk about nirvana, that's means extinction of all mental fluctuation, right?
Hmm.
Um, and uh, and there's no more debate at all. That's what the therapeutic position aim for, right?
Hmm.
But why the cloud of compassion cover the ocean of nirvana? This is, I think, compassion here is a significant approach of feature for the Mahayana one, because without compassion, Bodhisattva would not stay here anymore. They would end in nirvana. That's all for them, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so they don't need to be here to rescue sentient beings without the attachment, but because compassion, that's here. That's why the cover the ocean, the cloud compassion cover the ocean. It's not all around. So look at this way. When we talk about the ocean, um, can the cloud cover all the ocean? What do you think? Probably not, right? But
Not
here,
yeah, all at the same time now.
no. But here is a the cloud of the compassion cover the ocean of nirvana. I think it's just signify that yes, this kind of compassion uh, could benefit sentient beings. Um, so that they can mm, pursue uh, the path of Buddhahood, not nirvana. Yeah, and again, without compassion, Bodhisattva would not be here. Because of their compassion, that's why they here in the samsara to teach us, to lead us again out of the birth cycle, and also to lead us to the path of Buddhahood,
Hmm.
not all around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I remember that I read some Dalai Lama writing, and he mentioned that I think it's pure. He mentioned that without compassion, we won't be here anymore. No more human beings on earth because compassion will still here. Because more people do more good, do more harm to do more good for the earth, for humanity. That's why we're still here. If more people are evil, we won't be survive here. So that's why he said with compassion, the needs for our humanity. And of course, it starts with our mothers. He said that, like, without the care of the mothers, and when we were in their wombs, when we won't be here. And with the compassion of other people, we would not survive up to this point. I think, what do you think? It's pretty logical, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so many people, they would not recognize that because you see, when we talk about politics, all kind of fighting good and bad, and so forth, right? They fall into the two extreme, right? If you are with me, you are my friends. If you're not, you're my enemy. Yeah, this is all kind of fighting, all kind of problems occur. But in Buddhism, we um, go beyond that, like like Dalai Lama mentioned that. Yeah, we need to see in the past way. We need to see in the whole spectrum. That without compassion, we cannot survive here anymore. I say if we go to supermarket, if we even if we have the money, but no one sell for us, no one care for us. There's no one for us to have the you to use the money to buy things for us to use or for us to consume. So
Hmm.
that's why it said the cloud compassion cover the ocean of nirvana, but not all around. The nirvana, yes, we enter that kind of nirvana, like the holy monks, and they excuse of all mental fluctuation. But that's all for them. But uh, due to compassion, Buddha and Bodhisattva appear here to cover to lead sentient beings. It's so significant. Mm, mm,
Hmm.
yeah. Do you remember my message for New Year about the snake? Remember that?
Yes.
You pay attention on? Mm.
Yeah. About anger
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and developing compassion
Yeah.
uh, to prevent acting out of anger.
Yeah. That's why probably most of the Vietnamese or Chinese Buddhist temple and the front will have the one arm statue of them. When
Hmm.
we come to temple, that means we come to the compassionate path of life. Mm, yeah. Okay. Let's move on then. So you have any comment about this?
No, that explanation makes sense. Yeah, I
Mhm.
wasn't sure how to interpret that, but that the way you explain it makes total
Yeah. That's why for me personally, when we were slave man, yeah, I kept want to do meditation to cut off all the mental fluctuation. But yeah, when I become monks, yeah, especially um, I read Dalai Lama teaching about compassion and recognize that it's so important for me to move on in this Buddhist path. Otherwise, you can say like other people who care, about why do we need to care for others, right? Why do we need to waste our time for others? But in Buddhist views, the more we care for others, the more we care for ourselves. I mean that the more not care for ourselves, the more we care for others, the more we get the benefit, get the blessing. That's why the Dalai Lama he said that if you want to be selfish, help others. Is that a paradox? What do you think?
um,
What do you think?
it seems like it could be a paradox, but no, not it's not absolutely a paradox because there are there are heavenly realms where there are people who have tremendous blessings, but they're still greedy because they accumulated the blessings through some partial wisdom of like knowing that fact that
Mm,
knowing that they could get blessings by helping others. So
mm,
they set out to help others in order to get blessings. That's not the ultimate goal of the way, but it's better than not helping others.
mhm,
So it's a reasonable thing to encourage people in.
mm. Yeah, we can look around whether they are wealthy, unwealthy. Most of the time, if they step out to help others, they have more blessing than others. Then, and, but if they just keep everything by themselves, if they take care of themselves, they will not have any blessing.
Mhm.
Mm. Mm. It's not easy. What do you think for the young people? How could we instill this type of generosity or compassion, especially to encourage them to do the charitable work with that kind of approach, with that kind of explanation? How could we have how could we explain to them? How could we guide them in a logical way so that they understand for the
Mm.
young people? Is that challenging or this? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if they get in touch with the need for the work, if they can be touched by somebody's suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and they if they can see how they have more blessings than someone else, and imagine themselves in that position, then I think that's a good motivation for them to then want to do something. Um, 'Cause otherwise, they may just feel like they have to, or they're supposed to, or they should.
Mm-hmm.
But to really develop the compassion, I think they need to be touched by the suffering.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you are in that kind of situation, I mean that hardship situation, you would understand the suffering of people that going through that type of hardship, right? If you're not there, if you don't have that kind of experience, there's no way for you to feel and recognize that type of suffering. That is like homeless people, for example, right? We could not feel, especially in this winter. It's so cold for them to sit out there, in the coldness, or in the when they're hungry, when they're dirty, and all kind of things. But if we're not out there yet, we will not feel that kind of suffering, right?
Yeah, I don't think we can experience it like someone who is going through it.
Mhm.
Like I mentioned this last time about my brother whose mom died when he was early teen, like 12 or 13 years old. And I can't experience it like him, but I think we can get some sense of it. Like, we can just appreciate that, like, like being out in the cold. I imagine, hey, if I have to go take the garbage out at nighttime when it's cold, like, I don't want to do that. That's uncomfortable. That can give me like a little sense of, man, what if I had to sleep in the cold?
Mhm.
Like, I don't think we have to know the depths of it entirely for it to still be like, for it to still touch us in a place where we could have compassion for it.
Okay. Let me talk briefly. I don't want to talk much about politics, but let's say nowadays, you know, the ICE, right? The, they try to catch the illegal immigrant, especially the criminal one, and deport them out of the country. That's good, but somehow some of people they stay here, or they came here illegally, but they are peaceful people. They pay taxes and so forth, right? But they were deported. So you say for other people, if they rich like billionaire people, they would not feel the hardship that they have gone through in their country before they um, yeah they try some way to enter this country even illegally, but still with that kind of understanding we can find some way to help them, right? Otherwise we will not much, right?
Yeah, I think it's there perhaps there's still like maybe some people who are really rich who can still be touched by other people's suffering and difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem like as a general rule, the further people get from a situation, the harder it is for them to empathize and like be compassionate for it.
Mm-hmm.
Where yeah, I mean I was just thinking about this today too, like how hard so many people's lives are, how miserable their jobs are, how hard they have to work. They don't necessarily get to live in very nice houses, even though they're working really hard, and it's stressful on them and their family, and they can't choose where they send their kids to. They got to send them to public school, wherever. It's like, and it's better than some countries, right? In some countries, there's even more people that have even more suffering. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would hope that if I ever had a lot of extra money, like I guess I've experienced it in some ways. As I've made more money, my expenses have increased.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be like unreasonable given my field. It would
Mm-hmm.
be more unusual if like I'm a little more reasonable than a lot of doctors. Like I don't spend my money on my clothes. I don't spend my money on my car. Like I'm spending on my house and my daughter's school, and like those are I guess those are pretty balanced because the whole family enjoys the house, builds wealth. But I guess I could have really said, hey, no, let's stay in our smaller house. We could save money, and then we could still save plenty, and we would have more money that we could give out to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, I think even personally, it's tricky to make those more selfless decisions in a way that would make a bigger impact. Um, and so as we get more money, people, it's just their money, and they just want to do what they want to do with it. So it's understandable. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really special when someone actually is very generous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like uh, the uh, the children at the Thiên Tâm Temple. Remember the
Mhm.
monk who came here? Hundreds of them. They don't have their parents, or they don't know who the parents are, and they stay at that temple. And yes, it's quite different. They don't have that kind of privilege like the normal children have, right? And also yeah, many years ago I visited the Churchill Down, right, in Louisville, where they race the horse
Oh
racing.
yeah,
Churchill
Kentucky,
Down.
Kentucky
Mm-hmm.
Derby, or okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So many years ago, I went to visit that Churchill area, and I saw that there were many, I think, illegal immigrants. They they work on the horse. They um, they took care of the horse. They took the bath for the horse. They feed the horse, and and their sleeping quarter is next to the horse stable too. And it seemed to me that even they're human, but somehow their value is much lesser than that horse. I'm so yeah, I feel so sorry for them. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's the thing. I went with a group of local pastors to talk with them and get them some kind of food too, but still, that the karma that somehow not easy for them to handle, but still, they have no choice, like you say. Without understanding their hardship, there's no way for us to help them out. Mm. So this is a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
if we look around, we see we're so fortunate, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, you know, um, so there's a lot of homeless people around your area, or not many, especially in the winter time, that they would not stay outdoors, right?
Yeah, I think there is a big trend of going down south in the winter time. So I think
Um,
as many as who can who are homeless, they'll catch buses and
uh,
spend the winter down south. But some stay here. They're more going to be noticeable near the city.
um,
Like and some of them have places to stay, but they'll just come out and they'll get a ride downtown during the day so they can beg for money. And then they'll get a
mm,
ride back to wherever they stay. And so there are various encampments around. Like there's one not too far from where I live, maybe like 10 minutes. They're kind of under this bridge. Um, it's not as bad as like Los Angeles.
because
Indianapolis is pretty
yeah,
reasonable.
because this is cold, right? Many of them they can handle the cold. If it's the tropical area, they may be out more, right?
And they'll probably oh yeah, and they'll probably use the shelters more in the cold. So
Mhm.
like we have Wheeler Mission, for instance, where men can go and have a cot to sleep on, but it's a Christian, I think maybe Catholic thing. So
Mhm.
I think they have to like participate in prayer and stuff like that.
Yeah, mhm. Yeah,
They don't always like to go, but
mhm.
probably in the winter, some people would put up with it to have the warmth.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that I visit the shelter. I think either Princeton, the kind of shelter in New Jersey, nearby my temple in New Jersey, uh, Alphabet Township or RE City. So yeah, there's many of them stay there, but they have the obligation to do the prayer every day in the morning, lunch, and evening. In order to be in the shelter, in order to stay in the shelter, they need to do the prayer. That's the condition.
Hmm.
Yeah, but anyway. Okay, so I think probably we can stop here today. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we also can discuss next time. All right, so thank you. All right, so
Thank you,
see you
Ty.
then. Thank
All
you.
right.
See you
I'll
then.
see you next
Bye.
week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.